Fussy. Who hired this crew?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
Show me the money!
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
Yeah. I thought this was good.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
No, you're fine. Nobody can hear me.
Oh,
I got too excited. I was watching things and got too excited. I didn't do anything right. I had a thing where I was going to talk and say something really cool, and that didn't happen. So we're doing great here. 1996.
Kicking off the year strong.
Clip, cut it, everything. Some villains twirl their mustaches. This one sings, wears eyeliner, has been known to cause a sexual awakening in millennials. Tonight we will be shivering your timbers with Muppet Treasure Island. Hey everybody, welcome in to 52/1996. Got to get used to saying that. This is the live movie conversation podcast where we rewind the clock and dig into the films of 1996, one movie at a time. I'm your host, Cody, and this week I'm joined by the wonderful Alyssa as we break down Muppet Treasure Island. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome to the party. We're glad to have you. The idea is pretty simple. Every week for 52 weeks, we revisit a different movie released in 1996. We talk legacy, vibes, performances, trivia, whether the movie still holds up. And this season, we're kicking things off with our theme, Villain Era, for kids, spotlighting kids movies from 1996 that had amazing villains that stole the show. And this one is certainly not too far from that list. This is a great one. But let's talk to our guests about this before we get into the movie and talk about it a little, like break it down how we usually do it with our categories and whatnot. Alyssa, this is your first time watching Muppet Treasure Island.
It is not.
Wow, we did it.
We did it. We found one. This is 96 is about the time I'm gaining consciousness. This is one of my all-time favorite movies from childhood. One of my all-time favorite movies, period. It's a great movie and it makes me super happy. And I try to watch. I don't try to watch it like once a year, but it equates to about that. Once I found out that it was streaming on Disney Plus, however many years ago, I was like, this is great. So I'm no stranger to Muppet Treasure.
Okay, so not a stranger to Muppet Treasure Island. On this, okay, before I break into that, tell me about your experience with the Muppets. We haven't done a Muppet movie, I don't think. I think we just missed out on Christmas Carol before this, which was in 92, so we missed out on that one. What is your kind of experience with the Muppets?
I mean, I feel like they've just always been around forever. I mean, they have, like, before me, and they continue on today. Muppets have kind of always been associated with Disney for me. Muppet Treasure Island is probably the first exposure to Muppets that I may have had. I also remember some of the other movies, like the live action kind of, I mean, they're all live action, but I don't, what am I trying to think of? Like the one where they sang Moving Right Along.
Oh, the Muppet movie. That's the original.
The Muppet movie. Okay, I remember the Muppet movie. I'm pretty sure my parents had that on VHS. Not necessarily for me, for them maybe. I remember Muppet Babies and seeing that on TV. And I think the biggest like connection I have is when I, like, as a kid going to Disney World with my family, the Muppet Vision 3D was one of my all-time favorite. It's not a ride, it's a show. It's a 3D experience. And I don't know why, like, of all of the rides and shows and things at Disney, and it did just recently retire last year, which was quite sad to see it, go away. But that was one of my favorite attractions. Anytime we'd go to Hollywood Studios, I'm like, we got to see Muppet Vision 3D. And my parents are like, do we really have to go
Mhm.
see Muppet Vision 3D? And I'm like, yes, we do. I think that's my strongest connection to the Muppets.
Yeah, I thought you were going to mention Emmett Otter or whatever, the jug band
No,
Christmas
I got
thing.
introduced to that later in life.
Okay.
I always think of Fraggle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one. I think I had like VHSs of like sing along tapes. I know I did with Disney, like characters like Mickey in a like there's a person in a suit kind of like and it was just I've made you watch some of those. They're like 30-minute long
Mm-hmm.
advertisements for the parks. I think I had Muppet versions of those too in some way, shape, or form. Fraggle Rock kind of sticks out as being like a Muppet sing along situation. But no, I actually got introduced to Emmett Otter like maybe in college,
Okay.
and which I do. There are certain really cute things about that. It's not a I have to watch it every year for Christmas kind of thing, but it is fun to think about and make reference to occasionally.
Yeah, I love that. It's always interesting to see where people's entry point is into the Muppets and see how they get introduced, what's their first movie, and it's something that I don't even know if kids today can experience outside of probably Sesame Street, which those
Hmm.
aren't they're Muppets, little M Muppets, not
Hmm.
big Muppets. They're not the Muppets, but they are done from the Henson shop and everything. So I feel like as children were introduced to the puppets in that way, and those type of puppets. But the Muppets have always been a huge part of my life. I remember being sad learned as a 3-year old, like we were talking about core memories at one point, and like or back in the
Hmm.
day, and like what was your first memory. I can remember as a 3-year old being upset to hear that Jim Henson died,
Mm.
and didn't know why. I never even knew who Jim Henson was. I just knew that Jim Henson was associated with the Muppets. He
Well, with
was
the
Kermit. He was uh
yeah.
and so, like, the guy that is these Muppets, like, I associate, passed away. I was sad. I was devastated as a 3-year-old. I
Mhm.
remember being sad. So they've always been a part of my life, whether it is through um, the Sesame Street and even some of the movies that are associated with that, like Big Bird, Follow That Bird, has cameos from the Muppets in that
Mhm.
because it came out a little bit after the Muppet movie came out. So I actually didn't see the Muppet movie until later in life, and my first two Muppet movies were um, Christmas Carol and then
Mhm.
Treasure Island, which we're talking about today.
This is a little off topic. In in the Muppet movie, is there a moment where Kermit's about to get tortured?
He is the whole point of the Muppet movie is one, he's going across the country to make a movie and with him in it. But there is a bad guy the entire time that is chasing him down because he wants Kermit to essentially advertise for his Frog Legs restaurant. It sounds
Mm,
insane. So I think he does get caught at one point and is
okay.
is tortured by.
I like remember being very afraid of that scene,
Yeah.
which I'm afraid of everything, but I do remember like yeah, that was an early. I was like, is that something that I just made up or was that real? So thank you for confirming.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If you have Muppet memories, we'd love to hear about them. If you want to put those in the chat, I'd love to hear where your first Muppet tale comes from. Maybe it's the same as ours, or maybe it's a little bit different. But yeah, I just love the Muppets. I love Jim Henson. I love everything that they've done with the Muppets and tried to bring them back many, many times. And they're trying to do it again here in the
Mm,
next month, which I'm excited about, but also like a little skeptical or about, not because of the way they're doing it. There's just different voices, different puppet
yeah.
tears and everything. And it's a little different, but I'll take what I can get Muppet
Yeah.
wise. All right. So we were rewatching this.
Mhm.
What were you looking for? Was there anything that you were like, I'm sitting down, I'm trying to be analytical about this. What am I going to do to watch Treasure Island? Did you do anything different when this watch?
No.
Think about anything different?
No, this movie is straight vibes. I mean, you can't take this movie seriously. I mean, you can try, but there's like no way to take it seriously. I also feel like I know this movie like the back of my hand. So finding something different or new in the movie would be very surprising for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really happy to do this with you because we have previously mentioned that we quote this movie back and forth to one another constantly. It is one of two movies that we constantly quote back and forth to each other. The other one we did on 52/94 with the Little Rascals. So these are our movies. This is why this is love. Okay, everybody, this is love. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's break it down a little bit. Let's learn a little bit more about Muppet Treasure Island, and then we'll get into our categories for discussion. So we've already said it. The title is Muppet Treasure Island. It came out February 16th, 1996. It was directed by Jim Henson's son, Brian. This is his second feature that he's directed. It was written by Jerry Jewell, Kirk R. Thatcher, and James V. Hart. The cast includes, and I'll try and break these down because it's a weird thing with the Muppets being in the cast, but we've got Kevin Bishop as Jim Hawkins, Tim Curry as Long John Silver, Billy Connolly as Billy Bones, Jennifer Saunders as Mrs. Sarah Blovridge, Kermit as Captain Smollett. We've got Gonzo as himself. We've got Rizzo as himself. Sam the Eagle is playing Mr. Arrow. Miss Piggy is in here as Benjamina Gunn. And Fozzie as Squire Trelawney. Those are the only ones I'm going to go through. There are so many more Muppets in here and playing specific parts, but I won't get into those. The synopsis for this movie is a reworking of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic tale in which the Muppets take to the high seas in search of buried treasure. Young Jim Hawkins is given a treasure map by a mysterious sailor and sets sail with his friends, the Great Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat. Among the crew is the mutinous sea dog Long John Silver, who has his own plans for the loot. This movie had a small budget of $5 million and a box office return of $34 million. So pretty good. Good for them. I saw a little bit of variation on the budget, but the most I could find consistently was the $5 million number there. This movie was decently reviewed. It has a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb gives it a 6.9 out of 10, and Letterboxd has it at a 3.6 out of 5. Roger Ebert did not love this movie that much. He gave it 2.5 stars out of 4, so, kind of over half. But he said, Tim Curry, who has more or less perfected the over-the-top put-on, not for nothing was he cast in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It isn't easy co-starring with a Muppet, as actors as talented as Orson Welles and Michael Caine have discovered over the years. But Curry's strategy is to outact and outbluster them, and mostly he succeeds. As I suggested, you're likely to enjoy the movie in proportion to how much you enjoy the Muppets. Moi, I sort of like them sometimes, and I enjoyed the Christmas Carol movie, but this one seems less cleverly written, and for moi, it's a near miss. And yes, I did put in those mois are his. He wrote those.
Love a Miss Piggy callback. That's I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know if you have this iconic of a movie without Tim Curry.
Yeah, I think the success of Christmas Carol, obviously the Muppets are going to do Muppet things, but the success of Christmas Carol is mostly on Michael Caine. And the success of this movie is on Tim Curry, I think. Like to bring people in, I guess.
To bring people in, but to keep people, I think the Muppets shine further in A Christmas Carol, and I think it's because the Muppets there's not two main human characters. Like Gonzo and Rizzo are storytellers. There are main Muppets and our main characters, of course, outside of Scrooge / Michael Caine. In this movie, Tim Curry, who is not the main character. It's this Kevin kid. This is his debut movie. He's young. He's like 12, or he's supposed to be 12 in the movie. And he's our Jim Hawkins. And Rizzo and Gonzo are the side characters. Kermit is a side character. There is no main Muppet. And
That's true.
I think that almost not hinders this movie if we're comparing Christmas Carol to Muppet Treasure Island.
Mm-hmm.
But the focus becomes Tim Curry, not Tim Curry in a Muppet movie.
Now I don't think that Jim Hawkins gets over, like, obviously he does get overshadowed here, but I don't think he's like a bad actor by any means or anything. I think the kid does pretty well. Like, I was a little surprised to learn that he didn't do much after this. I know he was going through puberty and things at this time, so they had to rework some of the songs for him a little bit. But I thought he did a pretty good job. We'll get to all that stuff later. But here's my counterpoint review from Susan. I cannot pronounce her last name. It's Zinka, or I should have looked it up before. She gave it 3 out of 4 stars in the USA Today. She said Gina Davis and Rennie Harlan couldn't cut it with Cutthroat Island. Steven Spielberg nearly got the hook for Hook, but leave it to Miss Piggy and Kermit to discover uncharted gold in the shipwrecked pirate genre. So this is kind of a true thing. These are big movies that did not do well. Hook did not do very well.
Which is crazy to me.
Cutthroat Island is considered one of the biggest bombs in history. And it was a pirate movie, and it just didn't work. Pirates were out until, we get into the early 2000s with Pirates of the Caribbean, another Disney property there. So this one actually having some kind of success is pretty good for them. There is a little bit of a legacy with this game, or with this movie. There was a video game CD-ROM. I meant to play it. I tried to download it and play it before we got here. It's basically just like a point-and-click adventure, but it's supposed to be a pretty good point-and-click game. If you ever played games like that as a kid, I'm sure you and I both did. And then the other thing, which probably would come up in fun facts, but I used it for this, but Hormel, if you know the chili brand or the Spam people, actually sued Muppet Treasure Island for using the name Spam for the head pig leader and among them. But the judge dismissed the case because he said, basically, like, wouldn't you? It's nice to be compared to actual pork product.
Yeah, I have the quote if you want me to read it.
Yeah. What's the quote?
The judge noted that one might think Hormel would welcome the association with a genuine source of pork.
Yeah.
He just said, like, screw you guys, get out of here.
It's
wasting my time.
It's one of the best facts about this movie, I think. But Hormel sued them. You sued the Muppets. That's crazy. I almost want to boycott Hormel now just for even attempting, but
whatever.
So that's a little bit of the legacy we've got here with Muppet Treasure Island. Let's talk about some of the categories that we've got, like our best scenes. What scenes still pop out or define this movie for you?
I attempted to initially break it down by song.
Yeah.
And because I could talk about this entire movie, not just the scenes we pick out, but so I guess the first scene I have is Something Better, which is the Jim Hawkins opening song with Gonzo and Rizzo singing about how they have a really tough life. I think they're all orphans, and they are working tirelessly. And Jim so desperately wants to be on the sea. He wants to adventure. He, like his dad, and he talks about his father who passed away when he was young, and being the first mate on a ship. And he's like, God, I want to do that so badly. I will say, insert childhood Alyssa here. This song made me genuinely think I could be a pirate. I thought that was I think first career choice was ballerina and second career choice was pirate. I wanted to be a pirate so badly.
You can. There's still time.
There's still time. We also get the introduction of where we're going with this movie is that there is a character, Billy Bones, who is staying at the inn that Jim works at, that may or may not, and we find out does have a treasure map that a lot of people want and are after and are going to kill people over. And it is so, it's just like punch after punch after punch of joke and moments and Muppets. And this is where I think we get the most humans. No, I guess not. That's when we get
No, there's a lot of puppets here. There's a lot of Muppets here.
There's a lot of puppets. You're right. But I think we get the most like human to human interaction, like because you have the innkeeper with Jim and Billy Bones like all yelling at each other. But yeah, it kicks us off and it gives us, some, you feel for Jim, your heart goes out to him and you want him to have an adventure too. And you get it. And he gets his treasure map after blowing up the inn, and it's a good time.
I do want to stay on the inn part of this because my first thing that I wrote down was my name right here, Blind Pew, coming to the inn and giving the black spot to Billy Bones. I think Blind Pew is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I read this book within the last like 10, 15 years because I had never read Treasure Island before, and I wanted to. It's classic literature, and I read it one day, in one day. So pretty accurate. For the most part, there are some big changes that they do, introducing Miss Piggy in a fun way, but Blind Pew is an actual character in there. But they just make him one of my favorite characters that never comes up again in any Muppet movie ever, because I mean, obviously he's just a Muppet made for Treasure Island. He's French, which I love.
He has 2 eye patches and he walks like this.
I may be visually impaired, but I can see that you are lying.
I'm sure a French person would be so offended by Blind Pew.
But I love Blind Pew. He has some of the best lines in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he gives the black spot to Billy Bones. They end up coming back and ransack after Billy Bones passes away on another very funny part of this movie.
Fun fact, first person to ever die in a Muppet movie.
I love that. So I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh yeah.
He's like proud of that. He's like, I was the first person to die in a Muppet movie.
That's crazy. I love that fun fact, and good for Billy Connolly for seeing how outrageous it is. I understand wanting to respect Jim and his passing, but I'm sad that we don't have Rolf in the era of Muppet films. I mean, yes, I agree with you. Rolf is a well-loved Muppet from
Is there
70s,
a reason
80s.
Is there a reason he's not in this?
I think it is because he's the original. He's the OG. Like Rolf is like the OG Muppet. Everybody thinks Kermit is, but I believe Rolf is the his original Muppet, and so I think that's why they do it. Now Rolf has been in the newer films.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Muppet Jason Segel and Muppets Most Wanted, and I believe he's been around. I kind of like the Rolf take here, but yeah, it is weird to not have Rolf in these films.
Where would you put Rolf?
Where would you put Rolf?
Would you replace Sam Eagle? Nah.
Yeah, I don't know where you would put Rolf in these films. Maybe he's a bad guy, or maybe he's like Sweetums. Like he's one of the pirates that you're like, maybe he's a bad guy, but then he ends up being a good guy because he's just like, I love you guys. Like you can replace Sweetums with the Rolf character, maybe, even though I love Sweetums.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a big old Muppet running around there.
Giant.
Yeah. But yeah, the end scene I think it kicks us off. It gets us a song there. We get great Rizzo and Gonzo moments. I think the kid that plays Jim Hawkins is really good. He's a good singer too. It's a very high singer.
Yeah.
I would have struggled to have hit these notes as a kid. But he's a good singer, and I think he interacts with the Muppets really well. Like honestly, like it seems like Gonzo and Rizzo are his friends.
Yes.
And I love that. I don't know. Like, I want to know what it's like to act alongside a Muppet because everybody does it and they do it so convincingly. And I'm like even in interviews, people act with the Muppets, and I'm like, how do you do it? There's a guy laying on the ground doing
That's
these
the part.
things.
You and I have watched so many. I mean, recently after watching this Muppet movie, started looking up Pepe Le Pew,
Pepe.
Pepe Le Prom,
Yeah.
and how he flirts with every host and anchor and speaker that he ever gets interviewed by. And I'm like, there is a man under this table, like just
Laying down, just with his arm up, just like this. It's so impressive, and it's part of the reason I love any kind of puppetry or thing, whether it's Labyrinth, which again was a Jim Henson puppets, and Dark Crystal. Like, it's so impressive what they do, and I can't imagine doing it. And like, I know you have we were just talking about how your shoulders bother you. Can you imagine being a puppeteer and like having to?
no.
I think about Big Bird all the time, and the whole
Mhm.
time you are just in, like, you have your arm raised the entire, like, you cannot put your arm down.
Mhm.
It's crazy. And
I remember in high school, my high school did Beauty and the Beast for the musical, and I remember the one girl had to have her arm like this as Mrs. Potts for a long time, and she said that sucked.
you should have been able to like build something so that it's just like resting there.
No,
But you're high schoolers.
blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right, baby. All right, what's the next scene? We've got the end scene. We have There's Got to Be Something Better. That
Mhm.
song. What's your next thing?
I've got Sailing for Adventure.
That's my next one too.
Jim's got the map, takes it to a guy. I don't know how this is supposed to work, but he gets a ship, he gets a crew, it's all fine, it's all paid for by Fozzie Bear. And he gets a captain where we get Kermit introduced, where we get my favorite scene of the entire movie, which is taking attendance for everybody on board.
The roll
And what's
call.
happening? We're getting introduced to everyone, and we're getting excited about sailing for adventure on the big blue wet thing. And then we immediately, I believe, beforehand or afterwards, get introduced to Long John Silver.
Yeah, so we get that before the song, we get that before the roll call. Jim meets him. Jim and Rizzo and Gonzo all meet him because they go to the kitchen because Rizzo's hungry, of course. That's his whole character.
It's a shtick.
It's just being hungry all the time, and I get it. I'm hungry all the time, so Rizzo resonates within me, and I want to be Gonzo.
Love Gonzo.
I wish I was Gonzo in real life. That's the kind of confidence I want. It's just weird confidence and be just letting this freak flag fly.
I like the bit. It happens. Rizzo brings it up twice in the movie about, he's like, like the first time they're talking about family, and Rizzo's like, some family we are. Jim's a human, I'm a rat, and Gonzo's and Gonzo just goes, whatever.
Yeah, that is a running bit through all of, like, even before all this stuff was him just being called a whatever. And I think it all gets addressed in Muppets from Space, which surprisingly, as a big Muppets fan, I've never seen.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. I've never seen Muppets from Space, so I suck. Sailing for Adventure is a really great song. I love that song. It's got the big blue wet thing part of it, which I think is the thing that everybody remembers the most from it. But roll call portion of this is a highlight, and it is my goal in the year of our Lord and Savior 1996 to memorize the entire roll call.
I support you in this endeavor.
It sounds like the most insane thing to memorize, but I want to memorize it. I want to post it. You know how people online will always show their laptop and just run it? I want to do that. That's my goal.
That's awesome. That's where I get my namesake from, is from the roll call. There's only like one woman who's a human woman, beautiful, and her name is Big Fat Ugly Bug-Faced Baby Eating O'Brien. And then just comes out with the deepest voice. And an Angel Marie, and you just get the ugliest Muppet you've ever seen.
I love Angel Marie. I. We've got old Tom and really old Tom and dead Tom. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Headless Morgan, yeah. Sweetums, he comes up there.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that was Sweetums'. When I saw this movie, I didn't know that Sweetums was an actual character that we had seen. So love it. I love it all so much. What's your next? Cabin Fever?
Yeah, I decided to go just a hair beyond that, which is torturing Gonzo. But we have cabin fever, and they've been on the boat for a really long time. Jim is enamored with
torturing Gonzo actually happens before this.
Oh, I thought they get snagged like at the very end of cabin fever. Oh no, they don't, because
they're in jail when they hear
cabin fever. You're right. So I had torturing Gonzo and Rizzo ahead of that, just because that's a mark of, we know that there are bad guys on the ship now. One, it's a very funny scene. Gonzo gets stretched out, his arms and legs are crazy long. But two, it leads us to a point where Kermit forces Jim he's like, you got to give me the map. And he's like, I'd prefer if you gave it to me. And he's like, I really don't want to. And he's like, Jim, I'm ordering you to give me the map. This isn't safe anymore. And which eventually will lead us to Jim spilling the beans that Kermit has the map, or Smollett. Captain Smollett has the map. So that's that's like the turning point for our plot here.
Yeah. Cabin Fever, love Cabin Fever. Classic song that we've got. Yeah. I don't know anything else. It's just insane. They've just been sitting there in the water, and then all of a sudden these guys have cabin fever and need to sing about it.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's no reason for it.
No, not at all.
Not a reason at all. Cabin fever.
What's your next thing from Cabin Fever?
Oh, I had I go, I think, pretty far, and I said professional pirate. The mutiny happens, and Captain Smollett has this idea: let the pirates get off the ship and look for the treasure. We'll come back in a year. But Long John captures Jim and brings him ashore and attempts to recruit him to being a full-time pirate. And they sing a big old song about how they're a family and it's great to be a pirate. It was very convincing. They would have had me. But that gets us to the island Jim's captured. We got to go find Jim, which leads to the captain, Gonzo and Rizzo, getting to shore and being captured by the natives, which are all pigs.
So you said professional pirate, which is Long John's only number. This is my only number.
Yes, he had a song. He was like, I gotta have a song.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We get to see the band during this part, which I love too. Boom Shakalaka meeting Miss Piggy, Benjamina character, Benjamina Gunn. So in the book, Benjamin Gunn is the pirate, and they were a part of Flint's crew, and he marooned Benjamin Gunn on this island and just left him there. And he's just like an old crazy man in the book, and in the Disney movie that was in the 50s or 60s that was made. So he's just like a really frail old crazy man in this, and they chose to change it. This is one of the biggest changes from the book to movie in making this Miss Piggy, who just likes to, she just loves a pirate. She loves a sailor.
She's got a type.
She does have a type. 2 out of the 3 of her former boyfriends were pirates. Captain Smollett is not a pirate.
No, but he is a seafaring man.
Yes. I think that she was hurt so bad by him standing her up at the altar that she resorted to Captain Flint and then Long John Silver as well. So
yeah, hilarious. Like, because then he's like, what? Smollett's like, him too. She's like, well, if you would have married me, we wouldn't have this problem. It's fighting, like, this really is your fault, Kermit. Like, and then we find out that he's got a tattoo of Miss Piggy on his chest,
which is incredible. I love Boom Shakalaka. Like this whole like it looks like a Hawaiian. They always put on those shows that you see whenever people go to Hawaii. They always have those like luau show. That's kind of what this looks like. This whole thing. I even
with the reference to Spot Am is like very Hawaiian. So
yes, and then like I love in the middle of Boom Shakalaka, like them just chanting it. It just changes into Boom Shakalaka Laka, which I think is kind of funny too. And then they end on Shakalaka.
Yes, and then she turns around.
I love the soft focus around her,
the feathers, the jewelry. She's Miss Piggy is so good.
Here's a crazy admission for me. I used to hate Miss Piggy.
Wow.
I found her so annoying when I was a kid because I was like, just let Kermit live his life. You're annoying the hell out of him. Like, just leave him alone. And now I realize, like, come on. Kermit, he's afraid of commitment. It seems like every time
that was a bit in the Muppets. Like wasn't that a bit like they broke up? Oh, like what is happening?
Because he cannot commit. Kermit just can't commit. She was real annoying on Muppet Baby, like Angelica a little, like worse than Angelica on the Rugrats. She was awful, just terrible. What's your next scene?
I do have one last one. We're fast forwarding. There's a lot because that's 4 scenes in. This is my fifth one.
This is a short movie too. Let's just say
a lot happens in this bit. But to make a long story short, the good guys win. They find the treasure. All the bad guys are going to get tried when they get back to the main shore. Jim does not become a pirate, but Long John still has the keys. Gets himself out of jail and has a confrontation with Jim. He says he's like, I'm going to kill you if you blow the whistle. And Jim's ready. He's going to blow that whistle. And Long John's like, I can't kill you, man. You're brave and honest and true. And Jim lets him go. And he goes, I never want to see your face again. And Long John swims away with 4 chests of treasure. And they're like, you did the right thing, kid. But then it does turn out that there's a hole in his little boat. So justice is served.
Which is a great callback to the Mr. Arrow bit of him checking out each and every one of the lifeboats, which is very funny. All right. So that was a brief going through all the little scenes and stuff. I'm sure we'll mention scenes as we do like quotes and things like that. Who's your favorite character, or is there a scene stealer? Who walks away with the movie?
I think the favorite character is Gonzo.
Yeah.
He's so funny he is kind of like he's not the straight man in this movie. Jim is the straight man, but like he's the like he just says everything like this. And he's like, I have 10 starfish in my pants or whatever. And he's just
so random.
But Gonzo is my favorite character. My scene stealer is, I think, is the goat. is
Clueless?
Clueless Monty. I believe his name is Clueless. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 watches ago is when the first time I like really noticed Clueless Monty. And every time I'm like looking for him, and he's so funny. He's like, Gavin, Viva. Yes. And if I had to recast, I never want Clueless Monty to go away, but if someone had to voice Clueless Monty today, he just gives me big Pete Davidson energy.
Big Pete Davidson, yeah.
Clueless Monty's a stoner for sure.
They have the same original teeth. Before Pete Davidson got his veneers, they have the same mouth.
You're beautiful. You're precious.
His name is Clueless Morgan. I think there was a headless something, and then
Monty's the green one.
Yeah, Monty's the green one, Mad Monty. And headless something. It might be Headless Morgan. I can't remember. Like I said, I'll memorize it and we'll post that later. Not anytime soon. Let's not get crazy. Clueless Morgan, who's a goat. who's the funniest freaking goat in this whole movie. Like, he's the funniest freaking Muppet. He's
Mhm,
every time he says something, it's amazing.
mhm,
I quote and didn't realize that I was quoting Clueless Morgan on a daily basis. Definite scene
mhm,
stealer. Definite scene
mhm.
stealer. I also think that Rizzo's great in this as well. We talk about
Oh yeah.
Gonzo a lot. Rizzo, who was probably the scene stealer of Christmas Carol,
Yes.
probably kind of gives it over to Gonzo a little bit more in this movie because I had Gonzo as my favorite as well. But Rizzo is basically has this whole side plot in the background where he's running running a like cruise ship
Yes, for
for
rats.
rats. Yeah, which is perfect. Mr. Bimble, who lives in the Fozzie's finger.
Mr.
Uh,
Bimbo.
he's pretty good too. Yeah, so those were all four of mine, or three of mine at least. All right, favorite quotes, because this is literally what Alyssa and I do all the time. So
This is I tried to hold it back because I figured we'd go rogue. I tried to pull out ones that I didn't like that we don't quote all the time.
same.
Like when Jim, Gonzo, and Rizzo are at the inn. Jim says, "I hate my life." Gonzo says, "I hate your life too." Rizzo says, "If I had a life, I'd hate it."
I love that. I wrote that down. I was like, man, why do I not think of that anytime I talk about this movie? Because it's
Mhm.
very funny. Gonzo's just so quick to be like, I hate your life too. He's so perfect. Yeah, what else?
um, Rizzo when the entire scene with Billy Bones just gonna and Billy Bones like just collapses on the bed and Rizzo goes, "He died?" And this is supposed to be a kids movie. So like totally breaks the wall and then he comes back to life and he's like Jim and he grabs Gonzo's nose and he's like Jim, 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 Jimmy, Jim, Jim. And Gonzo's like, "I'm not Jim, 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 Jimmy, Jim, Jim. He's Jim, 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 Jimmy, Jim, Jim." And then he grabs Jim and he's like, "What is it?" And he's like, the map. And that's how we get the map. And then he does die. And Rizzo's like, "We're standing in a room with a dead guy." And they all start screaming and they run out because they're freaking out.
It's so good. Oh my god, that
As a
is a.
kid, that made that like not scary. It made it so
Mhm.
funny. I like that is the scene I remember from childhood.
I think that's the first thing I remember you quoting to me whenever we talked about Muppet Treasure Island. You're like, "We're standing in the room with a dead guy." Um, Jim, Jim, Jimmy, Jim, 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 Jim. So good. One of the ones that I picked off from this time around that you and I don't quote all the time is when Miss Piggy is talking to Smollett about him abandoning her at her wedding, and the thing that she ends it with, she said, because Miss Piggy always talks about food at one point, but she goes, "The cake was filled with lemon custard." Like, just the way
Just
she
pissed.
says it, she's so mad that
Mhm.
they didn't get to enjoy the lemon custard cake.
Yes,
Um,
I get it.
I always say off to Zanzibar to meet the Zanzibarians.
I had that one too. I got one from Rizzo that we don't say all the time. I think they're talking about like being afraid, and Rizzo goes, "I've gone way beyond afraid. Right now, I'm somewhere between bedwetting and a near-death experience."
Oh gosh, talking about Rizzo, it makes like the cruise that he has going on. I love all the little things that we get with the rats in the background. They even show up at the end and during the credits, like picking up the treasure that had sank to the bottom of the ocean.
Can you
Um,
lay off the booze? The paint's peeling on the shuffleboard court.
I love the dancing scene whenever there's like, and there's the two that are like not wanting to tell each other they love each other, and he's like,
They just make
yes,
out.
yes, and then they just start making out. It's so funny.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov to that couple, to that lovely couple. Speaking of the band, I'm gonna say that there's one point when they're like, whose side are we on? And they're like, are we with the frog or are we with the pirates? And he's like, I don't know, man. It's a gig. Let's not get involved in politics. And then Animal's like, politics. This is an incredible movie. 5 stars, no notes.
No notes. I only have one more written down, and it is one that, because I had a couple that we've said, and it is not necessarily a quote, but it is the moment, and it is also one of my biggest laughs, and has been incorporated into my everyday language. Whenever at the very end of attendance, Captain Smollett is quietly freaking out, but trying not to, and he just goes, gentlemen, can I see you in my office?
Who hired this crew? This is undoubtedly the seediest bunch of cutthroats, villains, and scoundrels I've ever seen. So who hired them?
I just keep, and I do that at work. I'm like,
You
like
do it
someone
with my
says,
parents?
I did do it with your parents. Every time we were playing cards, I picked up a bad card and I go, Your mom was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know.
Don't worry about it, Karen. Just leave me alone. Who hired this crew?
Are you gonna do a blind pew impression?
I've got Blind Pew. This is another one that I loved and didn't realize, we don't quote that often. Mudwell, the Mud Bunny, which is an interesting character, says, Dead Tom's dead. Long John shot him.
He's like, Dead Tom's always been dead. That's why his name's Dead Tom. He's like, oh, and then he just drops the skeleton onto the ground.
Love Dead Tom. I think I smell something burning. That's Blind Pew. Take me to Billy Bones, my pet. They're a pretty little girl.
Just
take me to Billy Bones, my pet. I do that one a lot. Clueless Morgan. This is the line that I said and forgot that it was a Muppet Treasure on. I would say this to a lot of people when I hand them something. I always go, "This is for you." Whenever Clueless hands him the black spot. I think we'll probably talk about this in Biggest Laugh, Cry, Scare, or Thrill, but so I'll move on to the next one. So what moment hit the hardest emotionally? Biggest Laugh, Cry, Scare, Thrill. What is it for you?
All of mine are laughs. We might have talked about every single one of them, but taking attendance is my number one. I like get giddy whenever they're like roll call, and I'm like, let's go, as if I haven't seen this scene 100 times.
Yeah.
The recurring bit of the rats on the cruise, them having their like dance night, them attending the luau, the luau,
yeah,
watching Captain Smollett get sacrificed.
I'm getting tired.
Aren't they on like jet skis at one point? Like,
he said, "Go faster." I'm getting tired.
Is it Billy Bones?
Billy Bones.
My pet. Gonzo getting stretched, which we did not talk too much about, but yeah, they're getting tortured. He's like, yeah, do it. And he's like, woo.
I like when he's like long on the boat and he's like touching Captain Smollett.
He's like, boogity. He's like, I might have a career in the NBA. And then they close or like a window curtain, reel him back up so he's back to normal sized. And then this is a laugh, but also a thrill when, and this as a child was the big thrill for me, was when Captain Smollett and Benjamina are hanging by their feet above the cliff.
We forgot that song. We didn't even talk about that song.
Love Let Us Hear. Yeah. About to die together, and Benjamina's rope breaks, and Smalley grabs her. And she's like, you saved me. And his eyes are like, whenever a Muppet's eyes change to being anything other than what they normally are is so weird. And his are just tiny little dots. And he's like,
you left out one of the things that I thought you would talk about, which is when after after Long John gets the black spot and he convinces them all to let him go. Clueless.
You're
Clueless goes
beautiful.
over to, he's like, forgive us. And he's like, you are a good man and you're a kind man. Handsome. You're a handsome man. Precious. You're precious. Beautiful. You're beautiful.
Beautiful. Just holding onto his cloak, just like pat it. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. We do that one a lot in this household. It's so great. I wrote that, like, obviously we went through all the funny parts of this movie.
Mhm.
I actually kind of got emotional at the end of this movie
Mhm.
whenever Jim is going to call the whistle on Long John. And he says, I learned it from my friends, Mr. Silver, and I'll take your oars and row away. I never want to see you again, ever. Like, there are tears in Jim's eyes.
It's a good scene.
It's a good scene. Like, they are good in that scene. And then you have Kermit there that's just like, I'm proud of you, Jim. Like, your father would be proud of you. And I was like, oh my God. Muppet movies, stop. Like, I don't want to cry. And this is not my crying Muppet movie. That is Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol makes me want to cry. This movie does not make me want to cry. But yeah, I watched it a little different this time. And I was like, oh, whoa. Emotions. Get out of here. So, all right. Most WTF or ridiculous moments for those that want to censor themselves.
I have a couple.
Okay.
I think I have two really. Mr. Bimbo. What is the point?
This is funny because Frank Oz hated it at first.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is so funny and it's so silly. Like, he lives in my finger, and it's like Mr. Bimbo, and like, it is such a silly bit. But I'm like, Fozzie's kooky, but he's not insane. Why? And I'm like, why does he have a person who lives in his finger who tells him what to do? There is a moment where, like, they are crying and he's like dabbing his
Didn't
finger.
even notice it until you pointed it out to me.
And I'm like, that's so funny and so stupid. It's not, I mean, like, it's fine. It doesn't need to get out of the movie, but I'm just like, why? Like, who came up with this?
Yeah.
Because that's not a Fozzie thing. Like, it's so out of nowhere.
Yeah, Fozzie's an insane idiot in this movie. He's the half-wit son of a shipbuilder.
Finances the whole thing.
Yeah, so Frank Oz, who's the voice of Fozzie and Miss Piggy and all those people, was like, I love how involved the people that do the puppetry are with their characters and everything. And they're like, what the heck is this? Like, Mr. Bimble, like, he lives in his finger? This is so stupid. And Frank Oz was like, I don't really want Fozzie doing this kind of thing. Then he did it, and then he watched it back and was like, okay, that's pretty funny. So let's leave it.
It is funny. It's just like, if you sit and think about it for a minute, you're like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
The other is that at the end where Smollett is fighting Long John Silver, and he removes his coat, right? And he's just in his like white, like pirate shirt blouse, right?
Yes.
And he's like, and he his sword leaves his hand, and Long John's got the sword up to his neck, and then Jim comes out of nowhere and he goes, if you want to kill Captain Smollett, you're gonna have to kill me first, with a costume change. He's in a new shirt. He's in the exact same shirt as Kermit. And then Gonzo comes in with the same shirt, and Rizzo comes in with the same shirt. Miss Piggy, who was just 30 seconds over there, they all come in. They're the same shirt. Sorry. Now that I'm explaining it, it's so stupid.
It's so funny though.
But like, it's such a random bit. It's like they all had a costume change to all match to defeat Long John Silver for no reason.
It's incredible. It's a good joke. I love that. It's such a small, dumb joke.
And I didn't catch it until recent, like not this watch, but I think it was last watch. I was like, wait a second.
But I think that's that is the genius, I think, of these films and the Muppets and the humor that goes in them, because they're not just for kids. Like, I'm enjoying the heck out. Like, they make me laugh more than any comedy movie, that we've ever watched, because of little jokes like that. Like, him dabbing Mr. Bimble's tears is such a small, useless joke that doesn't really, but somebody's like, hey, somebody's going to notice this and it's going to be perfect. which I just think is so genius
Mhm.
to the Muppets, and a credit to the Muppets entirely. So they're amazing. What else?
Those were it. Those were the two. I think I might have had a third, but that was it.
The only other thing I wanted to add, and it honestly, these WTFs and ridiculous moments aren't even like
Wouldn't
things that
change them.
Oh, I wouldn't change them for the word. Like I put Gonzo's fetishes or interests. We already know Gonzo's kind of a bit of a freak. He loves a chicken. We see that in Christmas Carol when a chicken walks by and he's just like, hold on, hold the phone. Let me get in that chicken. But then we get like him like love being stretched and tortured. And so that's something we're figuring out his kinks in real time. He had starfish down his pants for no reason. Like he's just
And then
hanging
Rizzo,
out.
like disgusted, is like, you and your hobbies.
Yeah, your hobbies. I love that he refers to them as hobbies. That's good. That progress. Here we go. We love him. Not one chicken in this movie. That is true. That is true. It is surprising. You're right. You're absolutely right. But that was the only WTF moment that I had written down. Was just his. Yeah, you can't yuck his yums. It's impossible. He's gonna like what he likes, and we should be okay with that. If we could get over it with Gonzo, we need to get over it now.
Perfect.
Sorry, that's my PSA for the day. All right, best music moment or the score.
I have two. My favorite song in the whole movie is the opening title sequence, "Shiver My Timbers."
Shiver My Timbers is so good.
And like all the different Muppets that they made specifically for that opening scene, there's just like skeleton heads. There's the Easter Island heads.
Yeah.
Or style heads. They're also all pigs, which I did not know. I thought as a child they were skulls because I thought like the nose were actually eyeballs. It is a banger, and then the ending, "Dead men tell no tales," and it ends with the two. And it cuts to black.
Man, I wish I could like screen capture you doing that. That was kind of awesome. Hell yeah.
I love. That is my favorite song. It is captivating. It is like stuck with me since a childhood. I'm like a really big fan of Irish music. And there is the Venn diagram of Irish music and pirate sounding music
Sea shanties, yeah.
There's a heavy overlap, and I think this is where my love of like Irish music came from.
Here's some lore for all you people wanting to know stuff about like Alyssa and I.
Oh no.
One of the first songs she ever sent me was a sea shanty version of a Nickelback song, I think.
Yes, it's Rockstar, and it's incredible. I needed you to know who I was up top.
And hey, I was in. Like, all right.
Here is who you're getting.
This is not a bit. She's not doing this. This was real. This was
someone who listens to Nickelback sea shanties.
It was
which featured Chad Kruger on that song.
Heck yeah.
I have an honorable mention.
Please.
And that is Tim Curry singing "Hey Ho and Up She Rises."
Oh my God! Right?
Because he doesn't get a lot of like again, he's like, "This is my one number." Like he gets his one number. That introduction to a villain is so good. Like he's off camera, and you just hear like the "put him in line till he's sober," and he's just kind of
he's over.
He's like mumbling it a little bit, and it's like, and then like the closer you get to him, the louder it gets, and then he's his body is like turned away from you, so you can't see that he only has one leg. In the beginning, we get the warning of beware the one-legged man, and what a good introduction to a character. And Tim Curry is so good, but that him singing "Hey Ho and Up She Rises" was also like a core memory for me from this movie.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I was talking about when I was talking about like sexual awakening for like millennials is like that little bit of him singing. I also love like obviously Professional Pirate is his song, and I want to highlight that because obviously it's Tim Curry, but he like really gets to let loose in what is the song? Sailing for Adventure. He has that
Mhm.
like higher register that he
Yeah.
has to hit on that higher register, especially for Jim Hawkins in that scene too. He's
Mhm.
like super
He's
high there.
like a choir boy.
Oh yeah, he's like a castrati almost, like crazy high. Also, fun fact, did not know this until researching this movie. This score, and I should have known because the credits roll for this. This score, the all the backing score and everything is Hans Zimmer. Obviously one of the most famous guy, orchestrations of movies for the last 40 years. Like pretty impressive. Thank you, Hans Zimmer. You're amazing for giving us this.
Mhm.
It's great. It's so good. So
What was
anything
yours?
else? I said Professional Pirate
Oh, okay, okay.
and then Hans Zimmer score.
Mhm.
So, all right. Couple things for you before I go into some of our other stuff. Is this better or worse than Muppet Christmas Carol?
Oh, it's unfortunate. Here's the problem, is that not the problem. I did not see Muppet Christmas Carol until much later in life.
Mm-hmm.
This I've seen since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So we talk about like Letterbox and like your top 4, top 5 movies. This is my number 5 movie. My top 4 are on my Letterbox. This is my number 5.
Yeah.
So I cannot sit here and say that I don't like Muppet Treasure Island more than Christmas Carol. I do. I prefer Muppet Treasure Island. That being said, Muppet Christmas Carol is a better movie.
I like that. I like that a lot. I agree. I think it is a better made movie.
Mm-hmm.
I also think Christmas Carol is the more adult movie.
Yes.
I think this one is a more Christmas, or like more children can get into it. I think more Muppetry here is a good point.
Yes.
Like, and not like when I say children's movie, I don't mean that only children can do it, because like I freaking love this movie. It's your number 5 movie, is what you're saying. Like this movie's amazing. This is not Paw Patrol. This is not anything like where we're having to like sink our intelligence down to enjoy it by any means. But I think I agree with you, and I think Chad agrees with you too. I think this one is better than more enjoyable.
Yes. Yeah, more entertaining. There's just something about pirates, man.
Yeah, there's something about it. It's cool. It's fun. It's it's sexier in like than just
it's adventure.
Yeah.
Like I think if it depends on who you are as a person. I think if you're like, I prefer a ghost story, I prefer something with moral, like a moral like ending. I love a Christmas movie. Like I love a Christmas movie, but like Christmas Carol is a ghost story.
Yeah.
Christmas Carol, not Muppet, right? Christmas Carol is a ghost story. Treasure Island is an adventure story. And there is just something about like, again, I genuinely after this movie wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah.
There's just something that makes you want to get up and go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think this is a better ensemble movie too of Muppets.
Yeah.
Like Chat said, more Muppetry here. I think that Christmas Carol is Rizzo and Gonzo and Kermit and Michael Caine, and that's it.
Yep.
And that is the majority. Now there are great side characters in there. I think of mostly like the Ghost of Christmas Present. Like he's a fun little addition. Bean Bunny is super funny and cute for the time he's in there. But yeah, everything else hinges like on those main 4. And this one has so many side characters and so many things going on that I think it's more fun.
Which is kind of what I was kind of getting at the beginning of like Christmas Carol is Gonzo. Yeah. Treasure Island is Tim Curry. No offense to Michael Caine, but like you don't have Muppet Treasure Island without Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Or the love for it, I feel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I think we're good on that. I think I got the answer I needed. All right, now I'll move over to F, Marry, Kill, where we talk about Three characters that we either want to F, marry, or kill for this, and I'm not gonna. They're just not enough humans in this movie, so it's all gonna be Muppets. So I'm going with our good guys here: Rizzo, Gonzo, Kermit.
Is it Rizzo, Gonzo, Captain Smollett?
Yes,
Okay. Because Kermit and Captain Smollett are two different people.
that's true. That's true. You called me out. All right.
I hmm. I think I have to kill Rizzo because it's Rizzo, and I, and I do not want to marry or F Rizzo.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna marry Gonzo because Captain Smollett is afraid of commitment,
It's true. It is true.
but he has, Benjamina in a twist. So I think he belongs to Benjamina. So I'm not going to kill him. I'll just F Captain Smollett,
Smollett.
marry Gonzo. Unfortunately, I have to kill, as much as I have to kill Rizzo.
I love chat there. Can't afford to marry Rizzo. He'll eat you out of house and home.
He will.
He's a growing boy.
What are yours?
I don't know. I kind of like the. I might switch Gonzo and Kermit just because Gonzo's a little freak.
He is a little freak.
He's a little freak, and I might not be able to like stand a lifetime of him and his little freak stuff. So I might switch your Kermit or your Smollett and Gonzo.
That's fair.
I can get Smollett there. I can get him there.
Make him commit.
Benjamina did.
You're
She
right.
made it. Sometimes death has to stand in the way in order for us to realize we love the ones we love and that we want to be with them. And that's just what convinced Smollett, I think. So,
I guess.
yeah, I think so. So those were them.
Very nice.
You're welcome. All right. Who gave the best performance in this movie?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. It's Tim Curry, right?
No questions.
He's incredible.
He is.
And again, like I talk about it with Michael Caine, talk about it with Tim Curry, even like Jason Segel in the Muppets, like acting alongside a Muppet is so fascinating to me.
Mhm.
And to watch them do it with ease he's incredible.
I've seen someone, like, this was a tweet or something forever ago, comparing Michael Caine and Tim Curry, and why did those two do so well in their Muppet movies? And Michael Caine did it because he treated the Muppets like they were humans, like himself. They were on equal footing in the sense that he's like, these Muppets are as strong of actors as I am. Tim Curry fancies himself a Muppet and therefore just blends right in.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between the two.
That's right. That's right. Now, on top of that, would you recast anybody for 96, like of the human
Never.
parts? Yeah. I think all the human parts are well done in 96. Even
Absolutely.
I love Billy Connolly. I think his Billy Bones is amazing.
Yeah.
Jennifer Saunders in here for like 3 seconds, like famous British comedian. She's great in her little role. 2026, who would you recast?
I had a hard time. I did say I would recast myself as the innkeeper just to be in the movie for 5 minutes. Run, boys!
How does she do that?
I was trying to figure out who is our modern day Tim Curry, which there isn't one.
You're right.
I couldn't. There isn't one. I would be curious to maybe see a Pedro Pascal as Long John in 26. I think that he could pull off pirate. I think he could be both silly. I think maybe I just want to see him work alongside the Muppets. I think he would do well. I think he would take it seriously. But that's all I had was just Pedro Pascal as Long John.
Long John.
And
that's the only one I cast too.
It won't be as good, but it would be interesting.
So I don't know if he can sing. That was because I thought about Pedro Pascal too.
Okay.
That was my
I just
only
assumed.
misgiving. Yeah, I'm sure he can sing. I mean, who can't, right? Everybody can sing now.
He could dub his voice. Who cares?
I don't know if this is good or not, but I got a little sad because of the whole Josh O'Connor like coming out of the, and just being a badass, just actor and just being in everything and being so good. Because I'm so sad that I feel like he's taking roles away from my man, Adam Driver. And I think Adam Driver could be a really good Long John Silver.
I think he'd be a good Long John Silver.
He's got the pipes. I know that guy can sing. If you've seen Marriage Story, he sings Being Alive from Sondheim in a very nice little singing part in that movie. That's not a fun movie to watch, but I was like, Adam Driver could act with Muppets. He needs that.
I believe
Somebody
it.
like that needs to be involved with the Muppets because that's what kind of happened to Michael Caine. Michael Caine got his Oscar, and then he was in like terrible movies forever. Like Jaws 4, I think, is one of the movies that he ended up being in randomly. And then he gets to be in a Muppet movie. And then I feel like his career starts to take off again. So Adam Driver, get with the Muppets, figure out what they're doing, bring these movies back, period. Like,
I wish they did more.
You've got IP. These are free. This is free IP.
Yeah.
Like you've got it up until like 1930 to like of stories that are in public domain. Just take them, do them, put them on Disney Plus. $5 million was what this movie cost. It's crazy. Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it. All right. Now it's time for the section Did You Know? Where we share fun facts, behind the scenes stories, and production trivia about the film. What did you learn about this movie that you want to share with everybody?
I learned, I'm sure you have this fact as well, that Tim Curry was given a Muppet made in his likeness of him as Long John Silver after shooting was completed, which is incredible. And I'm sure he treasured that. I know, me too. I want to see what that looks like. I had to think about Hormel Foods. Originally, Jim Hawkins was split into two characters, Jim and Hawkins, and it was going to be played by Gonzo and Rizzo, but they changed it to keep it closer to the story to have from a young boy's perspective. So I thought that was interesting.
I like that they made the decision to keep the kid.
Me too, 100%. I think it would have been a little bit more like Christmas Carol. With Gonzo and Rizzo being the main characters again. Yeah. Long John Silver offers the captain, quote, "my very own best brandy laid down by the brothers at Buckfast Abbey." So Buckfast Tonic wine is a caffeinated fortified wine sold in the British Isles. It's known for being cheap and very potent, often drunk by those who want to get as drunk as possible for as little money as possible, which is very pirate-esque.
Yes. It also reminds me of MD 2020 or Mad Dog 2020 from my college days that my friends would call Drunk in a Bottle.
Oh, I'm just thinking Four Locos.
I mean, essentially the same thing. But like some wine-ish with fruit flavor, stuff like that. That's got to be what it's like, right?
Yeah, probably. And I've got one more, speaking of, free IP. And so after the success of Muppet Christmas Carol, Jim Henson Productions decided, hey, we're going to cast Kermit and Friends in another movie like this. And it was between Treasure Island and some kind of take or adaptation of King Arthur.
Do it.
I was like, do it. Do both. Why not both? So there is a version out there somewhere. So then this poses my question to you, and this is unprompted. I probably should have prompted you on this. How would you cast a King Arthur movie with the Muppets?
I think King Arthur has to be a human. I think you make Kermit Lancelot. Miss Piggy is Guinevere. And then you have various Muppets in the roles of the knights of the Round Table. Merlin, Merlin could be a human too. Um, you know who we didn't talk about enough? Sam the Eagle.
Sam the Eagle. He was great.
He is good in this movie. He always pops. I used to hate Sam the Eagle, kind of like I hated Miss Piggy. Found them annoying. But the older I get, the more I'm just like, Sam the Eagle is a treasure, and we need to protect him because he has great jokes in Christmas Carol. He is super funny in this movie. Like whenever he's doling out punishments, I think it's super funny.
Yeah.
It's like,
and Smollett, like, I never said that. And he was like, I was just anticipating your win, sir.
50 lashes, and then you walk the plank.
Like, I never said that.
I never said that. No,
I have a
great.
thought to this too.
Okay.
Sorry, to go back to the. Remember how we watched and hated A Kid in King Arthur's Court?
Yes, that movie sucks.
I think that movie would be drastically improved if it was recasted with Muppets.
Oh my god.
Because
would you keep a kid?
I would keep, a kid, maybe not that kid, but
no, that kid sucked.
I think the kid stays, and I think the King Arthur stays as humans, and I think everybody else is a Muppet. Maybe you make the bad guy. Maybe you make King Arthur a Muppet, and then you keep the bad guy a human. But that movie was so bad, had really bad jokes. It did not make sense. If you Muppetify it, I think it makes it a lot better.
I like that. So a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Let's adapt that. That way we get the King Arthur movie that we need with the Muppets. I like it. I love that. Solved it.
Done.
I'll call Muppet Studios right now and say, Alyssa's got a pitch for you. Shut up and listen.
I have thoughts.
I did almost. This is crazy. I get these like random things where I'm like, I'm going to contact somebody. I thought about contacting the screenwriter of this movie and be like, hey, are we related? Because we have
Thatcher?
we have a similar name as a part of our family, and I was going to be like, hey, you related to me, bud? Because he does have a website up and everything. So I thought about it. He's super involved with the Muppets and stuff. So
do it. Why not? Who cares?
Why not, right? Who gives a crap? So maybe I will reach out to him. Just be like, hey, we did this thing. Let's see what else. Oh, this was the final Muppet movie where its poster was illustrated by Drew Struzan, thus ending a tradition for the Muppet movie. So up until this point, they all have these like fabulous posters that are done. There's some illustration on there and stuff, but they're beautiful posters. So I thought that was good. This set, you already covered a lot of mine, but this set was shot on 7 stages in England, which is where a lot of Muppet stuff takes place, is in England. It included a seaport, and in interiors, exteriors, 40-foot beach with palm trees, and 200,000 gallons of surf, portions of the island with mountains and jungle, and detailed sets of boat interiors. But it was all on 7 stages, so none of this was shot on location. That was the other thing that I really loved about this movie, is like you can tell that they're just on a set.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care to be on location or anything. It looks good, and I loved it. Like the boat looks pretty, the town looks pretty. Like everything is just done so well, I think.
Well, they're Muppets. Like,
yeah,
it's not like they're native to any land. Like they are Muppets. You don't have to be on location.
Well, and with Muppet movies, you have to build sets for them because these guys have to be underneath the set. So everybody's on these raised sets for them up so that people aren't laying on the ground. They're standing up and doing their puppet stuff. So it's really impressive when you break it down and think about like what they have to do. And again, on a $5 million budget, it's impressive, and the Muppets deserve everything. So give them more movies, please. All right. Anything else that we might have missed from the Did You Know category?
Nope.
All right. Like a fine wine and dish, if you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
I have 3. I think they're okay. A Muppet Christmas Carol is the obvious choice. Again, because the reason that this movie exists is because of the success of Muppet Christmas Carol, similar mixing Muppets with humans. I also said 2 Disney movies, Peter Pan being one of them, just because that's another pirate. The whimsical pirate movie is kind of what that led me to. Being in a different land, thinking about the beach and the palm trees and everything, the magic of it. I kind of have similar feelings about Peter Pan that I have to this movie, though I like this movie a lot more.
Yeah.
And the last one I have is Pirates of the Caribbean. For again, Disney, you have an insane, I don't want to say bad guy, but thinking of like the Johnny Depp
Yeah.
versus the Tim Curry. I feel like a Johnny Depp could do a Long John Silver role. Obviously, he did it in Pirates of the Caribbean. But it was mostly just for Disney and pirate things and you having a silly quote unquote bad guy.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. I chose to go with just Tim Curry movies to pair with this, where he's a bad guy. And I went with It, the 1990 miniseries where he plays Pennywise the clown. Annie, which is a musical, and he plays Rooster in that movie. And then I went with Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, where he plays basically Toxic Smoke.
Yeah.
And then for just whimsical purposes, I picked Clue as well.
You didn't pick Three
Rocky
Musketeers?
Horror? I did not pick Three Musketeers, even though he's a great villain in that movie too.
I say he's a villain in that movie. Is he also the villain / the organ in the Beauty and the Beast Christmas show? Okay.
He is. He's also Captain Hook in the cartoon series Peter Pan and the it's not Neverland Pirates, but because I think that's like a Disney thing now. But there was like an old show in the late 80s, early 90s about stuff, and he plays them. Treasure Planet from chat. I've never seen Treasure Planet. Again, that was during like the Disney period when I didn't watch Disney movies. So
I'll say they also Treasure Planet is like a underground, like people like that movie
like
a lot.
steampunk, right?
Yes, it's very steampunk. It is Treasure Island. There is a Jim Hawkins character. It's cool. I think I saw it once. I remember liking it, but I didn't like. I'm not obsessed with it. That was like right after The Emperor's New Groove, where everything just kind of went like this from there.
Yeah.
In terms of their success in movies, doesn't mean they're bad.
Well, one of the things that I'll talk about, because we're going to watch these kids movies, these villain movies and I think I'm just going to have you on for all of these. At the end of this, we're going to rank our villains.
Okay.
And say who was the best villain.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get into a conversation about that because some of these villains are going to be really mean.
Yeah. What's the definition of best villain?
Well, I don't know. Like
most likable.
I think that's up for interpretation because like you might like one and you might absolutely hate one, but they were really, really good villains. So I think that's just up to interpretation of what your favorite kind of antagonist is in these films that we're going to be watching. Because some of these I haven't seen in a while, so I'm eager to watch and determine who's the best and who I like. But I think they all kind of stand out. I think there's like ones that are like super evil that we're going to talk about, and then there's some that are more charismatic, like the Long John Silver of it all. So it'll be interesting. So but speaking of rewatchability rating and how charismatic Tim Curry is, if you could rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to throw this on again? 5
I'll watch
stars?
it right now.
I wrote literally a note after. I could watch this movie on loop forever. 5 stars, no notes. It's incredible. I'll watch it. All right, overall star rating. Rate the film from 1 to 5 stars. So this is more of objective.
It's not objective.
It's subjective. What would you give it out of 5 stars?
My personal rating is 5. I know this isn't a 5-star movie, but to me, it's a 5-star movie. I cannot not give it 5 stars.
I love it. I give it 4 stars, but I'm annoying, so it's a 5-star in my heart.
In my heart.
In my heart, and that's the only thing that matters. Next time, watch it while eating Long John Silver's.
Bleh.
I try all the time. I try to get her to go, and she'll never go with me. Alyssa, thank you so much for doing this with me and hanging out and talking movies with us all the time and getting into movies all the time. But before we wrap up, let's get one recent movie recommendation from you.
One. Okay. Well, my goal for 2026, or I get not really a resolution, but a goal is to watch more documentaries. And last night I watched the first one of the year. I'm trying to watch 4, one per quarter, but I can do more than 4. But last night we watched Paris is Burning, which is a documentary that was debuted in 1990, but is filmed over the course of about two different points in time, 1987 and 1989, specifically divulging and really digging into the underground culture of ballroom in New York City, a lot of queer culture. If you have ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race and you have questions on where the origin of some of the words and the slang comes from, highly recommend watching Paris is Burning. It is a quick watch, 78 minutes, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
But very fascinating subculture of New York City, of queer culture. What is ballroom? What is shade? What is voguing? And where it all comes from. That's my one.
I love it. I love that. Thank you so much. I watched it with her, obviously, and can second it. It's been on my list for a while. It is a part of like the 1001 movies to watch before you die. I learned a lot more than I ever even knew existed about this. You knew a little bit. You knew a lot more about me going into this. And yeah, just fascinating. I love documentaries like that. Learning a slice of life out of somebody else's life from different walk in life. These people surviving, and I mean, and I say surviving because truly, when it's filmed at that time, and still to this day, like, I mean, just them being able to do what they do and feel safe and themselves in this small area. Obviously, this documentary has some sadness and things attached to it as well. But no, I found it fascinating. I loved watching it. 5 stars. Couldn't recommend it more. So great pick. Great pick. If you want to keep that conversation going or this conversation going, you can join us on Discord. You can follow us on Instagram. You can check out the Letterboxd to see what we've been watching lately. I've been watching lately. All of those are available within the link tree wherever you're watching from. Also, we are going to keep these going on Spotify. I've got all of our first 3 seasons uploaded on Spotify. You can check those out. Just search for 52/. You should be able to find those there as well. Next week, we're going to be continuing our theme of villain era for kids with a live action version of the classic Disney animated film 101 Dalmatians. So we've got a new villain here with Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil. So we'll be watching that. And we'll be live next Sunday, January 11th at 5 p.m. So mark that down. Again, thank you all so much for your participation, your time. Thank you all for tuning in, your subscriptions, any of your bits that you've given us. I really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time on 52/1996. Now enjoy this new outro.
We spun the reel through desert storms and courtroom cries. Love letters burned, planes went down, truth hid behind the lies. From snowbound crimes in Fargo streets to agents running wires, we laughed with Gilmore, screamed in masks lit, theaters on fire. It's 52/1996, let the credits roll tonight. Good movies, bad movies, all of them in the same rewind. 1 year, 1 week, every frame gets its time to shine. We'll see you next story on 52/1996.